OGP. 15% approximate daw na dividend yield. Is it sustainable? That is the subject for today's TRFM stock commentary. Kasi itong stock na to, lagi siyang tinatanong sa akin since last year pa, no? Sa aking channel, and mostly na mga sponsors of my channel na nakikita ng aking portfolio, bakit daw wala akong ganito, okay? So wala akong ganito, first things first kasi it's a fairly new company na nag-list sa PSE. Pag mga ganyan, normally hindi ako bumibili and hindi ko sila pinapansin for a few years. So last year lang siya nag-IPO around May. And isa to sa mga rare case ng IPO na maganda agad yung tinatakbo. Kasi ang business nito is di ba? Related sa gold mining, okay? So ayan meron silang DDPO Gold and Copper Mine located in Northern Luzon. So meron silang FTAA with the government. So 60-40. 60 mauuna sa gobyerno, okay? And then 40 mauuna sa sa company. And as you know, maganda yung tinatakbo ng mga gold mining companies in previous years kasi maganda yung sentiment ng gold price. And with the ongoing yung talks about potential global slowdown recession, madaming investor nag-flock into what they call safe haven. And one of those safe haven is gold, di ba? Kaya umangat yung price ng gold. Then you have OGP, syempre, that positive sentiment, nakakuha din siya. Pati yung iba, APX, ayan, So, grabe, all-time high or malapit na. Actually, nag-close na siya ngayon to its all-time high. Pati si PX na wala namang ganong, I believe under rehabilitation yung madami nilang minahan. Kahit ganun pa man, nakakuha pa rin siya ng good sentiment. So, it goes to show you that sobrang lakas ngayon ng sentiment sa mga gold stock. Na itong si OGP, possible mag-continue to kasi it seems may laman naman siya, At least nasa kanyang mga previous years na nire-report. So, makikita nyo rito, nagde-declare sila ng dividend, 15% approximate on an annualized basis. Okay. And last year, napag-produce sila ng 97,000 ounces of gold and 12,300 tons of copper. So, technically, meron talaga silang na-produce. And makikita nyo, may guidance sila rito, 85 to 105,000. So, may bracket. So, maaaring mas mababa dito yung ma-produce nila or mas mataas, di ba? As high as 105,000. And the same thing with copper. Hindi, yung copper is projection nila mas mataas, Ang bracket nila is 13,000 to 15,000. So, makikita nyo rito, nagde-declare daw sila ng strong dividend. Okay? And pag-return daw sila ng madami sa nilang shareholders since listing date. And meron silang binibilang free cash flow of 109 million USD. Obviously, dyan manggagaling yung mga dividends nyo. And in 2024, nag-increase daw yung kanilang mineral reserve by 12%. Diba? Ounces of gold net of mining depletion. Further demonstrating the exceptional value that we can create through exploration success. So technically for 2025 maganda pa rin yung nila, yung kanilang outlook. So technically habang umariba to, mas gumaganda yung outlook ng mga to as long as may na-produce silang gold. Pero makikita nyo rito, ito yung DDPO mine production performance nila, So yung na-produce nila na gold actually pababa, Even the copper. So from 138 naging 97, 14.2, 12.3. However, umangat yung kanilang revenues na mamaya makikita nyo. Kasi pangat yung gold price eh. So yun yung nagko-compensate siguro nilang top line na performance. So dapat ito, no, dapat hindi siya pababa ng pababa, no. Otherwise magiging unsustainable yung kanilang binibigay na 15% dividend yield. Eventually kapag pababa nga yan ng pababa, no, kasi hindi naman sila pwedeng mag-rely lagi sa increasing prices ng gold. Eventually magko-correct to eh. Yung gold na yan, just like all other commodity stock, nag-all time high, then nagko-correct, then magpapahinga, ganon. So the full year gold production is 30% lower. So ito na yung risk na titignan mo sa business na to, kasi pababa pala yung kanilang production. The reason bakit umangat yung kanilang revenue is because of this, ayan o, average gold price. From 1.9 pumipitik into 2.4. Copper, same thing, di ba? So I guess ito yung importante sa mga gantong business, no, yung kanilang mga exploration activities. Di ba? Paano ba sila mapag-dagdag ng additional gold reserve in the future? So may sinasabi sila rito, 2,000 hectare airborne drone, blah blah blah, during the quarter is 50% complete. And ang tina-target daw nito is gold copper mineralization that has been identified in artisanal workings and shallow diamond drill holes, blah blah blah. So again, expectation nila is 85 to 105,000. So I think lower pa rin ata yun sa di ba? Yung nadig nila nung nung 2023. So pag eto, ang nadig lang nila is around 85,000, no, sa nasa lower end or nasa lower end ng kanilang ng kanilang guidance. I think yun na, no. Feeling ko benefit na yung binihan nito pag ganon. Kasi iba year over year pababa ng pababa. So ayun lang, I think yun yung sa mga biggest risk ng company na to ngayon, para hindi hindi mag-decrease yung kanilang high yield na dividend payout. So based on an annualized yield of 15%, ayan So technically itong business na to, namimigay siya ng around 37.392. So namimigay sila around 5.6 billion in dividend payout. So sabi nila meron daw silang free cash flow last year of around 109 million. So 109 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So meron silang free cash flow of around 6.8 billion, di ba? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tama, no? Hindi pala, 6.2 billion. So halos lahat na nilang free cash flow binibigay nila into dividend, di ba? Divided by 6.2. So 90% na nilang free cash flow binibigay nila into dividend. Ngayon, maganda ba yon sa isang company na to? Well, depende, no? Nasa stage kasi sila ngayon na it seems nagde-deplete na or nababawasan na yung kanilang na-produce na gold. So technically, kailangan mo silang gumawa ng capex, no, para gumawa ulit ng mining exploration. So majority ng kanilang cash flows pinapamigay into dividend. Diba? Ilan na lang yung matitira na cash for the business para gumawa ng exploration activities in the future para ma-sustain yung mga na-produce or namimina nila na gold. Yan yung tatanungin mo sa sarili mo. Okay? Ito yung kanilang latest report. So nagre-report sila ng around 30.3, di ba, na million. So that's around 1.7 billion of reported profit. Nangyari yon kasi I believe mataas yung nito. Mataas yung depreciation and amortization na nire-record niya, no? Which is naman yan, it's a non-cash item. Kaya makikita nyo rito, they're still producing a cash flow of 155 million. So 155 million, that's around 8.8 billion. Ilan yung binibigyan nila na dividend kanina, di ba? Around 5.6. So may matitira na lang silang more or less around close to 3 billion to pay down obligation, gumawa ng capex, ganon. And then ito yung kanilang balance sheet. So again, in USD to, current asset 126 million versus total current liabilities 125. So medyo saktuhan lang. And then total liabilities 135. 126, no? Meron silang ano to, no? Parang taas na kanilang ano, trade payables and other current liabilities 110 million USD. So I think yan yung sa mga investigate nyo, no? Eventually kailangan nilang bayaran yan. So ang tanong, sustainable ba yung kanilang dividend yield na 15%? Well, my opinion is that in the short term, yes, no? I think sustainable siya. I think well covered pa rin naman ng kanilang cash flows yung ang binibigay nila na dividend. In the long term, however, I think it's questionable. Kasi tulad lang nakita nyo kanina, bumabagsak na yung kanilang ano, yung na-produce na gold, no? Diba? Yan, no? 138, naging 97. So what if this year, yung kanilang ma-produce na gold is lower or nasa lower bracket ng kanilang ano, kanilang guidance na around 85,000 lang. So, yun na, no? Yun na yung magiging, yun na yung start bumagsak, no? Kanilang 15% annualized dividend yield at current price. So, ang isa sa mga reason or main reason din bakit naging sustainable or sustainable pa in the short term yung kanyang dividend yield kasi umangat pa yung gold price, no? So, what if nagsabay na bumagsak yung gold price and then continuous na bumabagsak yung nilang na-produce na gold, ganon. Yun na, no? Doon na mag-start maging, ano, unsustainable yung nilang dividend yield. Na eventually, kailangan na nilang, ano yan, babaan yung nilang dividend payout. And I think you need to pay attention sa nilang, ano, mga exploration activities. Na kapag, ano, mag-improve yung kanilang mga reserve, ganon, or lumalaki, syempre, I think that's good for the business. Anyways, sabi na rito may mga dahilan naman sila, no? Ayan, no? So, due to multiple severe weather event, ganon. May mga flooding daw, blah, blah. Pero who knows, di ba? Only time will tell. Kaya nga, yung monitor mo yan, di ba? Ilan yung talagang ma-produce nila for one full year. Okay? Di kasi nila sinama dito yung kanilang ano eh, no? 2022 tsaka 2021. Siguro pag naisama yon baka doon mo mas makita yung kanilang ano, trajectory. Or baka nasa ibang document, no? So, declare ba to ng dividend na recently? So, nag-declare na siya nung ano, first quarter, no? So, parang mangyari pala, every quarter siya magde-declare ng ano, dividend. So, tapos lang first quarter actually. So, earnings season na ng aming weeks or after a month. So, tingnan nyo, no? Tingnan yung kanilang performance. Ang tanong, bibilhin ko ba siya? Well, I don't know. Possible kasi medyo attractive ngayon itong ano na to eh. Yung chart ng gold na to na pangat ng pangat. Eh, di pa nga pumipitik yung talagang epekto ng Donald Trump tariff eh. So, ito possible pa tong mag-shoot up, no? Na ako, ang tinitingnan ko lang is siguro i-assess ko yung kanilang first quarter report. Pag nagustuhan ko, ba pumosisyon ako ng konti, no? Pag di ko nagustuhan, bahala na kayo dyan, okay? Pero kung gold play lang, I think, mas okay talaga si ano, APX. It's just that na late na akong pumasok dito. So, pag ganyan, ayaw ko nang habulin yan, okay? Pero ano, fundamental wise talaga, I think APX is the more dominant gold player sa nilang industry.